Viruses and diseases suck. We all know that very well, especially with all this corona, stupidity, quarantining, and online school is a mess. We especially all know that very much. But it could suck more. For decades, previous generations and times had to deal with even more terrifying viruses and diseases, but thanks to our fancy modern technology and vaccines, we don't have to think about those anymore. But they were absolutely terrifying and destructive viruses. Like everyone's favorite action movie ripoff, SARS-1, and the sequel that no one wanted, SARS-2. But for me, one of the more interesting and terrifying viruses that still exists is the rabies virus. The virus that created Cujo the killer dog and kind of brought the idea of a human or an animal turning crazy and attacking others and being created. Therefore, kind of inventing zombies in a way, but that's more of a pop culture thing. But what is true, and what is fact about rabies? How can we compare it to our current situation and hopefully learn something new? Let's find out. Alright, speed round. Rabies. It's a disease that is really stinky. It's usually transmitted through bites from other infected animals or humans. Yes, I fact-checked that. Although it's not very common. After being bitten, you'll start to show signs 2 to 8 weeks after infection, or sometimes just 10 days, but that's on rare occasions, and I couldn't really find many examples. But with our present-day medicine, if you get that bite checked out immediately after getting it, you'll be able to slap a vaccine on that bad boy, and you'll be good as new. But if you're an anti-vaxxer, or an idiot, here are some of the side effects you may or may not experience. Ahem! Rabies can cause irritation at the bite location, hallucinations, psychosis, general irritability, muscle spasms, nausea, vomiting, sensitivity to light, dizziness, fatigue, aggression, anxiety, coma, difficulty swallowing, dilated pupils, drooling, excessive salivation, headache, mental confusion, seizures or stiff neck, and absolute brain death. So that's fun. But how does it compare to corona in our current situation? Here are our rabies symptoms, and here are our coronavirus symptoms. We don't know as much about coronavirus as we do about rabies, but I can make some basic inferences based solely on these differences in symptoms. If we compare these side by side, we have corona with much more speedy virus. But this is probably because COVID is more of a quantity over quality kind of dude, Jake Paul style. Not saying that it's not lethal, very much the opposite, but for me, I see rabies as the zombie virus, the slow one I mean. Like, realistically, these slow motherfuckers shouldn't be too hard to control if you inform the public about it. But coronavirus is like the fast zombies, Wreck or 28 Days Later style. It spreads really fast. However, individual infected aren't really the problem here. It's the fact that we rely so much on grouping up that gives it the perfect opportunity to strike. Which makes you think, did corona divide itself? Oh! Divide itself? What? How does this happen? Did corona design itself in a specific way to counteract the way humanity lives? Probably not. Nature is just a cruel, cruel bitch. Excuse the swearing, but it's true. Life is gonna beat you down and make you want to give up, but real perseverance is not giving up. Continuing on even without a shred of hope in sight. Why? Well, it's what we do. Despite it all, we survive. Oh yeah, I gotta shamelessly plug my YouTube channel. And Twitch, dumbass! Yeah, I make stuff like what you just saw, but with movies and games and TV shows and whatever I want to do that month or year or decade. Okay, thanks, bye!